Hi, so I just wanted to check in and kind of show you how did you use the link to research both the cost of your home and then also like how to actually then use Zillow to find either a home to buy or to rent. So you're going to click this affordability calculator and it's going to open a new tab, which should look like this. And there's two ways that you're going to use this, and that can kind of give you a range of values to kind of help you search when you actually go to search for that home. So the first way that you're going to do it is type in your annual income. So for me on mine, when I take a look at my budget here, I know it's small on my screen here, but that's again coming from that budget number. So again, I'm doing this for my single scenario. You do the same thing for the married scenario then as well. So I'm going to type in that salary. When you're doing the married scenario, you can put your combined income. And I did enough zeros there. Yep. We're going to pretend that you are in the best situation and that you do not have any monthly debts. And we're going to let this down payment stay with the default number, and we're not going to click the advanced. Okay. So I don't know if you're watching, but it's sort of automatically adjusted once I plugged in the number here. So this is the maximum home value that I can afford on this income. I'm also noticing that this value down here is a lot bigger than what my estimation was back here because my estimation was this. So this is going to be the second way that you could potentially research this. If you notice that you have very different values between what Zillow is saying and what this Google slide or Google Sheet, excuse me, file is saying. So I'm actually going to play with this number in the estimator as well. So I'm going to remember this 26,000 ballpark, okay? And I'm also going to try to remember this number. If you need to write those down because it's a lot to keep in your head, feel free. So I'm going to take this value and I'm going to drag it down to about that 480-ish, I think is where it was, ish number, something around there. I'm going to just leave it there because that was kind of the ballpark. And so this is giving me a minimum value. Okay. So now when I go to search for a home, I can do one of two things. So at the top here, you're going to either buy or rent, and you might want to kind of research both of those situations depending on what is actually available to you in the market. So when I do buy, I'm going to open this actually in a new tab so I can kind of show you buying versus renting. So in a new tab, it's going to load here. You can type in whatever location. I'm going to leave it in Cambridge and pretend that's where I'm looking. And I'm going to come over here and under price, this is where I'm going to put those two different numbers. So my minimum with my one value was roughly around 100,000. So I'm going to put that number in. And that second number was very close to 260,000. Okay. So that's how I'm going to put that in there. And now what I'm going to start to do is under these other options here, start to select the things that I had put in my description. So in my single situation, I had said I will have a kid. So for that situation, I'm going to pretend that I want at least a two-bedroom, and I'm going to say at least a single bath. Done. I did say in the description that I was interested in a single family home versus some of these other ones. So I'm going to do a quick deselect all and just say single family home and hit done. There are other categories and other information here that you can select if you're interested in that. So I'm going to be a little bougie, I guess, and say that I want to have at least have AC and see what happens. Um, was interested in having a car, so I'm going to say I want at least a parking space and kind of do some of the searching, and I think that's about it. Okay, so I'm going to hit search. I'm not going to save my search, so go away. And now I have zoomed way far back out, so I'm actually going to try to zoom in. And you are seeing my choices for my interest and things that I wanted don't really seem like there's a lot of options here because every single one of these little hits and these little buttons on the map or the little circles on the map is a hit. So it looks like what I might have to come back here and maybe not be so bougie and take out some of this information and see if I can get some more hits. Again, I'm not going to save. Didn't look like it changed. So maybe that means renting would actually be a better option for me. So I'm going to come back here and actually switch it and toggle it over to rent. And now what I'm going to have to do here is put in my rent. So again, that was that something around 500 is what it had coming from my Google sheet. And when I originally put in my salary, it was estimating, whoa, that I could afford a rent value of something like that. Hopefully you have those numbers a little bit clearer in your head. And oh, it looks like there's one. So again, it's kind of limited. So maybe what I would have to do here is come back here, or maybe that's part of the reflection of couldn't really find anything that I wanted. So I'm going to have to make some major changes and then you could be more specific on what those changes are. So that's basically how you're going to do that research. Again, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening.